I think Luke Metz has taken his game to another level. I think you see a lot from Abdul Sanders, QB Reese, Caden Jones is doing some nice things. Duke Johnson, those guys are all going to have a role for us. So the talent is definitely there, and a decision will be made soon. Don't have to reread that. Pretty much heard it just then. Now I want to get into some Ryan Coleman Williams having an unbelievable camp. Great news for him. Definitely a important year for him after the year he had last year. It was a down season. Can't deny that. Can he make up for it this year? You're damn right. Alabama offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb waited for one final question after Monday's preseason practice, and the expression on his face suggests it was worth it. The Crimson Tide play caller was asked about Alabama wide receiver Ryan Coleman Williams. Grubb proceeded to recap the end of practice, 10 with a smile. The first team offense orchestrated an 80-yard drive, and while the OC didn't reveal which quarterback was leading the ones, he did share that Coleman Williams was on the receiving end of a practice-ending touchdown. Shout out to him. Unbelievable catch, Grubb said. Enough said. So Ryan Coleman Williams understands it is time to step up. Coleman Williams is fresh off an impressive scrimmage performance as well. Those who were in attendance raved over the play of the Tide's junior wide receiver who hauled in a touchdown at Bryant-Denny Stadium last Thursday. There were also no reports or any drop passes, something Coleman Williams is looking to eliminate after an up-and-down 2025 season. One right second. The latest to praise the Alabama wideout was Grubb, who had a glowing review on Monday. He is the latest to commend Coleman Williams for the dedicated approach to his offseason prep. He's having an unbelievable camp, Grubb said. Lucky to coach the kid. He is just an absolute wonder. Man, he's been a guy that's just been unbelievable. His growth as a person, player, his preparation has been second to nobody on this football team. He comes in here like during the summer. There was no time off. Guys go home for May. He's right here catching balls on the jugs, all the stuff. Shout out him for putting in the work. The talent is there. Is he ready? Does he prepare? How has he prepared, so to say? Now I'm going to dive into this Ryan Grubb presser. 1 second here. See what we got here.
The 2024, the 2025, and the 2026.
One of the biggest problems with the 2024 was that it only had
Two-part question for you, Coach. To what extent do you buy into the theory that it's good to target bigger receivers in the red zone because there's more traffic, less separation to be had? And tied to that, is that something that Cedarian Morgan, as the big guy in that receiver room, could bring to the team?
Yep. I think there's always different places for different routes, and certainly it depends on defensive structure. But if you get one-on-one matchups where you need to throw the back of the end zone, high ball, on in-cut return stuff, on zone throws, stuff like that, certainly good to have big targets. And but the zone guys, the savvy players are just as important. So we've always carried all those different concepts in our bag, so to speak, so that you can utilize whoever's running the best. And so Cedarian, Derek Meadows certainly both fit that bill down there.
What'd you see from the quarterbacks in Thursday's scrimmage?
Thursday scrimmage. Oh my God, like a lifetime ago. 2 tip picks were the low point. I thought that they built momentum after the first couple of series. First 2 series we were just kind of honestly just clumsy initially. Operationally we weren't very good, and that affected how we were executing some plays, and it was quarterback driven. So once we got them over that, we moved the ball effectively. I think 4 straight drives, so that was encouraging to see them pop themselves out of the hole, especially when it happened quick. But the last 2 practices have been 2 of our best days. Not maybe, they definitely have been. So I thought we really have built on some packages there the last couple of days and had a really nice. Just got done with a great move the ball session. Had a touchdown and a field goal with the ones on 2 drives, which was awesome.
How close is the decision?
We're close. I mean, we're getting close to game week, so I would say, by next week we'll have to make that call.
How have you seen the offensive line?
Like you said, next week got to make the call. So whichever quarterback produces and plays well in this next coming up scrimmage, he will be the man. I guarantee you. Ain't no way around it now. Even Kane Walmack said it. The season right around the corner. They got to make a decision pretty much right now. But whoever performs the best in this Thursday's scrimmage will be QB1. Here we go.
Line progressed the most from where they started at the beginning of the spring until now?
Well, I'd probably locate more with the ones. I thought in the last 2 days, we've really kind of finalized our run game package, got all of our gap scheme in, so we're able to expand some of the things that we didn't do in the scrimmage, and really took advantage of all those. And when they were able to put everything together with the ones, I thought they gelled really, really well today, and ran the ball really well, probably the best we have all camp, honestly, especially today. It was hot, a couple long drives starting on the 20, went all the way down the field, so it was really, really good to see. Super encouraged after today.
What has Mal given you at left guard?
Toughness, physicality, and intelligence.
What about Trayshawn at running back?
Man, really, really good empty cut vision, meaning when he gets into a hole, blind cut defenders, he can see and feel that next guy. Very good anticipatory skills, great out of the backfield. Much better pass protector than people would think. They think because he's short, but he plays down the middle of defenders. He got good feet, and he's a smart kid. So impressive young player.
Do you have a health update on EJ?
EJ's doing great. Sooner than later, he'll be back. Definitely not season ending. Fully expect him to be ready for the first football game.
Were you pleased with how the offensive line communicated in Thursday's scrimmage?
No, not initially. But again, I put that back on the quarterback. I think there's too much confusion on, the onset of the football play. When you start to play, you have confusion to start. It's going to be really tough. And one of the things that we improved on, I thought, far too often in the scrimmage, we were getting up to the line of scrimmage, and we just weren't taking the line, getting set, and forcing the defense to be set, make our call and move. And we're doing it the opposite. We're milling around, letting them move around, and creating indecision. So I thought, sometimes the guys just need to see it and feel it, and now I really feel like they've started to bring that to life a little bit.
You just said that you didn't expect EJ to miss any time, but given missing games,
Yeah.
But given the time that he's missed in fall and spring,
Yeah.
What do you expect out of him early?
Well, we don't know. I mean, to be honest, we don't know. I mean, I know he's a really, really tough kid. That's all I've seen from him. And he absolutely loves football. He's been all in kind of guy, just super impressed with him. So, I'm very optimistic that we're going to be able to get him ready to play and have him out there.
As the decision comes closer.
A lot of talent in the running back room. EJ Cruel, another factor, could be another factor early. Only a freshman, but size, stature, maturity at that age already. Yes, expect big things from EJ Cruel, especially with AK Deer being injured. How long will he be out, etc. So it's time for him to grow up expeditiously and produce at a high level.
Quarterback.
Mhm.
Have you seen those guys?
I mean, that's what you come to Bama for, correct? To play in the big games, bright lights, step up, have an opportunity to be a starter. Oh, yeah.
Have they changed their mentality?
I'd say it like this. I said in the meeting room the other day, I think we hit a lull as it was kind of like the look around phase, like what's going on right now. And I think they got through that now. They broke through that with the scrimmage. And I feel like, always coach quarterbacks to be playing with blinders on, just focus on you, the things you need to improve. And I think we lost sight of that a little bit for a few practices, and been really, really impressed, especially today on some move the ball situations where both guys were able to just hone in on the things they need to do better. And didn't get stuck when it didn't go perfect, and we're able to keep us moving. So we're getting there.
You and Caleb both talked about the offense kind of starting slow in the scrimmage. What do you want to see change in the second scrimmage?
Just clean operation. You want to feel like you get out there in the East Carolina game that, you just give your guys a chance to play. And that's where you want to be able to conceptually and schematically, all the things, what do they run well? What are they doing well? What can they handle? And focus more on those things, not what we can't do, but what we can. And there's certainly a lot of things we can do. So I think that part will be critical for us.
What's been the message to Trayshawn with AK and EJ down?
Oh, Coach G's the best, man. He's a stud. His vision and his coaching style is very consistent, and so that, I think, just breeds consistency in the room where, nothing changes. The standard's the standard. He keeps guys moving forward. The expectation is next man up. And so it just doesn't turn into this, you don't give life to the problem. The guys just keep preparing and getting ready. So a lot of credit to Coach G on that one.
We talk a lot about those young guys at running back, but have you seen Daniel and Kevin kind of progress?
Great question. Daniel Hill is if I was picking guys that have had a lot of growth on this football team, Daniel would be one of the biggest ones. Just not only physically how he's transformed his body, but just also his maturity, his understanding preparation, schematically, his knowledge. I mean, you just hear him lining guys up and intelligent football player. So I think the world of him. He's put a lot of work into being, one of our workhorses. And then Kev, same thing, maturity, knowledge of the offense. He's a bright kid, consistently trying to work on keeping his weight up. He's got good twitch, just trying to be a little more heavy-handed in the run game, which I know he's working on.
This electric nail file was specially designed for people dealing with thick, yellow, or damaged nails. Look at
on the offensive line. That's kind of, it's the same guys running with the one right now. Do you guys have a set file at this point?
Not yet. We're close. There's still a couple battles going on, and you want to give a guy like Will Sanders. He's had a really good couple days, and he hasn't been able to fully be out here. They had to reevaluate him for a little bit, so he missed a little bit of time. Got back out there, and I really feel like, he had the last couple of days where he got back out there and felt comfortable. It's the first time I've seen Will doing that in a while, so I think there's guys like him, and then, Nick and Javen, and then, those guys have really started.
And so he's pretty much breaking down the O-line. The O-line, very important. How would the run game look? Like I've been saying, it starts and ends with the run game. You have no run game, nothing else matters.
And, turn that into a real battle.
What can Will and Nick do to supplant the guys who are up first?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the spot, but, Mal's strengths are Mal's strengths. So I think one of the things that you feel good about him at left guard is communication and physicality in the run game. And, so just making sure they can do those things, number one, because I think they're, all things are pretty equal in pass protection. And then same thing with Nick. Javen is an intelligent player. Nick's just got to execute at a little higher level.
Just two more questions.
Circling back to where we started with the big receivers, how does that apply to the tight end room? And do you think we could see an uptick in production from the tight end group as a whole?
I do. I think they've been productive all camp. And I think that's a great question because to me, it's just we put those guys in positions all the time, like for that exact reason. Okay. Do we want to try to use a big body receiver for this? Or would we rather get, Marshall out there? And those are the kind of questions we're getting answered right now in camp. But the tight end group,